Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. You join me down my Syndicate Fernbrake. Bit of a different video for you today. Sadly the fishery closed at the end of June. We're now in mid-July and it's very overgrown. They started draining the water. So I'm just going to do a bit of a highlight of my time at the fishery. Take you around a few of the swims that I enjoyed, some of the popular swims, some of my favourite captures, and relive a few moments and memories. A bit about the lake. So I joined it in 2019 March, thanks to my good friend Lawrence who got me on here. It's a 12-man syndicate. I mean, it's not often you get a 12-man syndicate these days, and within those 12 people, not a lot of people fished it. I'd often come down here after the lake to myself. That's how special a place this is. There's no cut swims or anything like that. It's all natural, in a heavily wooded area, loads of trees around, and it really is. It's a place you'll never get to fish again. It's such a special place. Around 40 fish in here. There was a 40-pound mirror in here many years ago, but sadly that passed on. Quite a few, about 3 or 4 30s to go out. Biggest currently, or when I joined, was around the sort of low 30s, 33, 34 pound mark. And lots of 20s, and they're all old fish. They've all originally stocked a good 20, 30 years ago. There's a few smaller mirrors that have bred on in the lake, which is quite exciting. But yeah, a really special place. I'm really sad to see it go. And so this is my kind of goodbye to Fern. So this is the swim where I had my first fish from Fern, where I opened up my account. They often say the first fish is always the hardest, and it was. I had about 3 or 4 blanks. I know it's a tough water, but I was expecting to get on the fish a bit sooner than that. After seeing a few milling around by the sunken tree, I put a PVA bag over there, and then at about 10 past 8, just as the sun was going down, the rod rattled off. What a fight, unbelievable. And it resulted in this lovely 28-pound common known as Babs. I was so happy to get my first fish off the mark at Fern. Really made up with it. One of many special fish from this place. And then that kind of lit the fire, and I knew I was at somewhere special, and there's plenty more to come. So guys, this was the only swim I was fortunate to have a brace from on my time here at Fern. So the first fish was this really cool sort of, almost like a common with a bit of koi in it. I had it just from that spot, just over there from that tree, under that tree line. And the second one I had, I snuck it out on this swim. You can fish sort of 2 sides, it's on a bit of a point. So the second one I had just down here on my left from the snags. And that was a really cool fish. It was a mirror, this lovely scaly mirror that was an unknown fish in the lake at the time. So this, like I said, this lake throws up some special fish and some unknown quantities, and this was one of them. So I was really pleased to get a fish that we knew existed in here. Now, out of all the swims at Fern, this was by far the one that did the most bites for me. As you can see, there's loads to go at here. You've got the sunken tree, massive set of pads over the back. You've got the island, you've got both channels of the island, and you command a lot of water as well. There's a spot on the island next to a few reeds. We named it the Island Banker spot. It done me quite a fair few fish from that spot. This was one of my favourite swims to fish at Fern. So many options. You'd often see the fish cruising around the sunken tree when it was warm, up in the upper layers. Easily accessible, plenty of room. A really productive swim. And my personal sort of fishing style, I like to fish up against snags, or towards an island or a feature, so it had plenty of those in abundance. So this is by far my favourite swim. Had some mega fish from out of here. Kind of my first fish after lockdown, I had this lovely 29 plus common. Gave me a right scrap, had it off the pads from the back. Took me nearly round the island, but managed to get that one in the net. An incredible looking common. Like all the fish in here, they're all special fish. They all look pristine. But yeah, this was by far the swim that done the most bites for me, and probably the one I enjoyed the most fishing from as well. So this is a swim that I will never forget in my fishing life. This was where I caught my first UK 30 from, and that was kind of what I wanted to get from this lake. I'll never forget it. It was an incredible moment. So I was fishing under that willow. You can see the water's dropped now. The willow was in the water. I was fishing under that willow. It was October. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning, if I remember rightly. I've had like a really jittery take, and I've pulled into it, and it's been like a really sort of like head down, real slow sort of fight. And I've known it was an alright fish. Anyway, it's kited all the way down to the right. And it's gone behind this where they drain the water out. It's almost like a well. And so I've only got 10-foot rod, so I'm literally there trying to play it over these trees, and it's not moving, and I can feel the snag grating on the side of this brick well. So I couldn't get the line high enough over the trees. I've stood on a chair and everything. It wasn't working, so I've had to put the rod down, walk out on the platform to this well. I've had to hand line it in and get it in the net. Luckily it didn't put up much of a fight. And so then I'm stood on this platform, I've got a fish in the net with lines everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get this back onto the bank. Luckily my good friend Lawrence was fishing a few swims down. I had my phone in my pocket, I'll give him a bell. He's come down, he's literally seen me still there, he's just started laughing, he's absolutely wet himself. Kind of like, what are you doing? Anyway, I was grateful he was here. Took some cracking photos for me. And yeah, my first UK 30, £30 14 ounces, a moment I'll never forget. That was October 19. I had a couple more fish from the swim. I was also fortunate enough to have another 30 in February 2020. From different spot this time, from the opposite side, from the left hand side to a set of pads. Much of the same sort of fight. It didn't put up a massive fight. That one came in at just over £30. Two 30s from the same swim. It's known as the car park swim because it's near the car park end. A lot of people used to fish this swim. You know, what a place, what a fishery. Can't say anything more than that. Really, really lucky to be here. So this swim here was one of the favourite swims of many of the people who used to fish up Fern. The main reason why it was one of the favourites is it commands a lot of water. It's probably the biggest swim on the whole fishery, and you can see the snags over the back over there. Obviously the water was up and much higher then. The fish used to love getting in that, and you could get plenty of fish out of there. It was really was a carp magnet, those snags behind us there. And another good thing about this swim was, oddly enough, it's a really good social swim as well. You could get like a good 2 or 3 bivvies up here, and probably the only swim where you get that many people on. So and you had a lot of water to go out as well. You could probably get 8 or 9 rods in this swim comfortably. Oddly enough, though, being the best swim on the lake, I actually never had a carp from the swim. I had 1 tench from the swim to the right hand side of the swim under a snag tree, and no carp for me on the swim, which everyone found quite bizarre because everyone else had always caught a lot of carp from here. It was already done really well, but it just wasn't for me this swim. So guys, and this was the final swim that I had my last ever fish from Fern on. That lovely £26 10 orangey mirror. Had it from just over that spot there. You can see now. You can see actually like the silt and mud where it's from. It's just under that snag bush. I mean, incredibly special place. I'll probably fish nowhere like this again. I mean, it's only had 12 people on it. Most of the time you come down here and have the lake to yourself, so a really special place. And the orange mirror was one of my targets, so it was really nice to end on a special fish. Sad to see it go, sad times indeed, but unfortunately all good things must come to an end. So this is where it all began. Just over 2 years ago I came over here, turned my number over and went down and saw the lake for the first time, and now it's goodbye to Fernbrake. I'm really privileged to be able to fish such a special place, catch some amazing fish, have some amazing memories, great laughs with a few friends, and catch my first UK 30. The fish are going to be removed in the next upcoming months. They get onto a new home, so I'm sure they'll be fine, and hopefully make someone else as happy as they have made me. Like all things, sadly, Fernbrake's time is up, not just for me but for everybody. So for the last time, I'm turning my number over and off I go. Until next time.